Hello everyone, Granite Roots here. It's Friday night reset World vs. World on Red Borderland. I'm with Air Guild in the pink tag, and we also have War Guild accompanying us for some fights on the white tag. I'm running DPS Reaper with some Boon Rip. So here we are in Firekeep with a big red group trying to obviously take the keep. And I just thought I'd take a break from supports to work on some DPS Zerg stuff. One thing I like about supports is it usually prevents me from squirreling as much as I do when I have a DPS. But I think I did pretty good for the most part staying on point tonight. But there's a point you'll see where I kind of squirrel off later. And stay tuned to the end of the video. We have a huge fight with a red and blue in here on Firekeep at the same time, in which we push them out. But as you can see, this build drops a lot of DPS. You just go in, you see all the numbers fly, you see the downs come out. Really good build. It's a bit glass if you're on your own, so be careful, although you can use Shroud to mitigate that. Some of the rotation that I like to use is I drop my wells, go right into Shroud, because Shroud gives you a might buff, which also buffs the damage of your wells. And I'm running a Boon Rip well and the vulnerability well, in addition to other things that I have. Of course, Chill to the Bone's good for some stun lock, which I like to do also. So that went pretty quick. They kind of broke apart, and here they're trying for another bid, or blue is, and you see guys dropping down. They're trying to pour it in. We didn't realize it at first. We just saw these guys down here hanging out, so we're going to clean them out. You can see all those numbers just ripping through there. Very good build, especially if you've got support. You can pretty much drop damage with impunity. And we're going to go back in and check, and that's when we realized that someone had been porting peeps in. We find them on the Lord, and of course we're going to kind of work on positioning here, get a good position, and then we're going to push them out. As you can see, we got good stability. They keep throwing the rings up. People aren't getting trapped, so thank you to those providing stability. And we're going to do a little bit of circling and positioning here. Columns are great because they break line of sight, and I've been using them more and more in my roaming, which has been very useful. It's kind of funny how Zerging and roaming are similar, but have certainly stark differences. You have to be more careful about where you position yourself with a Zerg build, because there's more damage coming at you all at once. But the principles are the same. Okay, War has joined us now to help finish pushing these guys out. Okay, we're starting to generate some downs. We're going to keep circling. They're going to try to double back and prevent that, which they just did there. They just kind of tried to envelop us. And again, see all the numbers in the downs. And I'm also, as you can see, using Great Sword offhand for pulls. Skill 4 is great because it's a blind and rips boons. And you can see now they're going down. The other part is we have the fire there, push people into the fire, let the fire do the work for us. That's always good in the lava. And now they're heading out, and here's where the squirrel in me wants to make me like a dog chasing that car. But these cars you can take down. One of the things I really like about Thief is it's harder for people to get away, although Shroud side 2, great mobility, which is how I caught up to this guy, and he is toast. Thank you, and have a great time running back. Alright, so here we're gliding in. Red had just burst through the wall. I'm about to make a mistake as I try to glide towards him, then realize that's a mob up there. Let's do the right thing and stay on the tag. Alright, here we're going to try to use stairs as kind of a barrier for these guys. We're going to stack to the bottom of it. Hopefully we can pull some down and they get stuck or they fall off. and it prevents us from being pulled into the mob. They'll just pull you to the side of the stairs, which is pretty bad, but not as bad as if you're right on top of where they're dropping their damage. So what they probably should have done was grouped up and dropped off the side of the stairs and pushed us, but thankfully they did not. Friends. We get a guy trying to mess with our back line. He's going to go down pretty quick. Well, it looks like they did finally come off the stairs. But I think they missed their opportunity because there weren't much of us over there. Let's see how they have to circle back around. They're getting hung up at the bottom on the obstacles. Probably what finally did them in, because now you can see more downs. Still quite a few of them left though. I mean, they're holding on pretty good. Well, they were. Now you just saw that big burst of downs. I'll probably do some other videos with different DPS builds, maybe some less common ones. I know this is a pretty common one, although I haven't seen it as much lately, so I thought I'd run it, and I hadn't run it in a while. But check out that mobility. You saw me just zoom right to that guy. Love the mobility. It's one burst, but it's a good one. And of course, just remember when you run Reaper, try not to stay in Shroud any longer than necessary. You see I grabbed him with Chill to the Bone, prevented his escape. That guy thinks it's funny, and it is kind of. Can't say I blame him. It's always nice when you catch someone trying to run away. Okay, see they tried to mobilize us again. Good stability, thank you peoples. And now we're going to do a little more circling around. So this is the point where there was a fight before this. It was red and blue were in here, and they weren't attacking each other, just kind of focusing on us. Finally, we said, you know what? We went over, we kind of distracted the Gary. Go attack the red Gary. Blue shows up there. Red had stayed here. War stayed here and held them off. We came back, and that's what we're coming back to, is this scene. And you're going to see, as just, you know, Blue figures out what we did, as we just about have these guys on the ropes, Blue's going to come in and restart the standoff all over again. I'm going to take out these two dudes down here. And we're going to do some more ring around the Rosie. Trying to get them caught up on the stairs. Maybe fall into some of the lava down there. Let the lava do some damage for us. And they're going to change direction. Try and catch us off guard and push opposite the way we were going. But we moved pretty well there. Actually, very well. Okay, now they're going to do a little regrouping. Push back up. And we're going to regroup a little bit. And I get knocked off. Brilliant move by the opponent. Knocked me and a bunch of guys off. I'm going to land quickly and heal rather than take my time gliding, because those ticks would have killed me. And now I'm back up. Now we kind of got these guys pressured. Shroud is great also. That's what increases survivability on a glass build like this. Kind of like how we can be tanky for an instant just to get you out of trouble. Of course, you can see War's up there with us as well. We're trying to take their tail while they're trying to regroup on the bridge. And in a moment, you're going to see Blue start funneling in here. And that cut was, there's Blue right there. I was getting pressure, so I jumped off, came back up, and now you see Blue forming up, getting ready to try to capitalize on us. Engage with red, we're going to pull back. Let blue have them. We're going to circle around so what puts blue between us and red, so we're not in the middle. And you're going to notice in a minute I'm really going to kind of be caught on the wrong side and squirrel a little bit, try and generate some downs. Circle around. Save our person up here on the bridge right before they're about to die. Doesn't get much closer than that. Alright, rings up. Now we gotta really push. Make sure you're in the ring. You're always moving. Don't stay static. Someone's gonna stun me right here, so I'm gonna abandon my typical rotation. Go into Shroud. Use 3 for stability, and I'm just going to start wheeling that skill 4. And now I got split off from tag, so I'm going to circle around the other side. I can see some blues struggling on the corner here. I'm going to just keep adding to their misery. I want to try to DPS them down, but he kept having people come in and res, but I kept putting the resers down, like that healer right there. Heal brand. And I'm going to go to Shroud. We're going to skill 4 up on this stuff, put another guy down. Try to finish him off, but they've got helpers coming, which is good, so I am just going to beat it. Very close to losing. Heal up, I'm going to Shroud. I'm going to use Shroud 1 for health buff, and I'm going to use skill 2 in a second just to create some more distance, because he's still chasing me. And he backed off. And they got the Lord back up, which is good. Job on whoever did that for sure. So now we can focus on pushing again, not being stuck to the ring, trying to contest it. And of course the Lord helps us. The Lord does some AoE. It's just a kind of buffer. So good tactics for those guys. Appreciate it. See those wells pulsing damage. Now look at all the damage pulsing there. It's great for when people group up. If you can survive it and go in there and drop your Shroud skills, particularly 4 and 2, and of course 5 for a stun lock. Now we're going to push them all the way across the bridge, and we're on cleanup mode. So apart from the boring narrator, I think this was a very intense, interesting, entertaining fight. I thought everybody did awesome. I need to get a little bit better to stay more on point, but this build showcases still the survivability and the DPS you can drop on peeps, which is good. This was a really good reset night. Things are a bit more evenly matched, even though we were outnumbered on some things, but war helped even that out for us. But either way, thanks for watching. Thanks for those that were there. It was a good time had by all. Hope you had a good time, and hope you have a most excellent day.